And here we go. All the hype is real. She's about to prove it here tonight. Kenia Enriquez out of Mexico, dressed in
round one.
red.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Her opponent,
fight.
All the way from England, Hailey Valentine with the white and the blue. Of course, right from the top, that striking game, that's what's going to be the difference. But can Valentine take this fight to the ground? She's looking forward to very, very early in the fight, Alex.
Yes, immediately looking at ways she can really shorten that distance and get in on a takedown. And Kenia says that she's very confident as long as she can control the distance, it's going to be a long night for Hailey. But Hailey's super cerebral and she's super invested, even as a fan, on how this fight could go.
Enriquez, and also now that this 12-6, the elbows, all these tools that she does not use in boxing come into play. Will she use it? Does she have a lot of confidence in using those tools? Listen, Amanda Serrano, one of the best female women boxers of all time, I would say, made her shots here in MMA and had success. Will Enriquez follow her footsteps?
I definitely think Hailey has the right idea, trying to chip away at some of those leg kicks. I think she needs to just let those calf kicks fly, try to make Kenia not be as mobile, because if she's getting in her boxing flow, it'll definitely be tough to weather that storm.
Which is quite surprising is if you see some of her previous fights, she throws in a lot of low kicks, especially to the inside thigh. Not a lot of that. I think it's because Enriquez is just doing a good job of keeping that distance.
100%.
Enriquez measuring where she's going to strike. Of course, unlike boxing, is not consistent punching, is more of a target.
Gotta imagine that there was a lot of strategy going in. Hailey is here with her head coach and also a former Cage Warrior champion.
Oh my
quickly
goodness! Did you hear
down
that?
And quickly back up for Hailey.
Did you hear that, Alex?
It's very loud inside Univision Studios tonight.
Shook the desk here. Holy cow! That lady has some bricks in those hands.
And it's not just to the head. When she starts to get that body work in, it'll have us wincing over here, and we're just watching.
Now, we've seen some boxers that made the transition to MMA. We've seen some MMA fighters that made the transition to boxing. Not that much success in that turnaround. Hence Conor McGregor, Francis Ngannou, I can go on and on.
Now this is where it could get pretty interesting.
This is where Valentine wants this fight so she can work her way and get her to the ground, Alex. But does she have enough of that howler psychology, Alex, for Kenia Enriquez to work around this position?
You definitely see her working the cage well, but you also have to remember that Hailey usually competes at 105, so you can really see the size discrepancy. She's not a true strawweight, which is at what this match is at currently, but she just proved to herself that she can get in, and once she's in, that is where she wants to be. Not at distance with a WBC champion on the feet.
Valentine training out of the BST Academy. Known folks train out there. She said she was intrigued to see how Kenia will do with her striking in MMA.
She's doing a great job so far, but we just heard in the corner of Hailey, she's breathing heavy now. These are your opportunities to work in a takedown, but I think the strategy for Hailey is to work in a takedown up against the cage. But we'll see if she wants to shoot from the center and be able to work some dominant.
Ooh, that 1-2 combination. And Hailey said no. No.
She is a tough cookie.
Oh, another straight one. That number 2 man coming in fast and furious like a comet. Valentine looking for the toss, the takedown. Good way though of Enriquez taking herself to the hala, escaping out of that maneuver and taking the fight to the center of La Hala where she wants this fight. Now some body shots. Now she got that boxing. She's feeling very confident.
And Kenia Enriquez said in her interview that she is physically and mentally at her best. So we as fans can expect a lot of action. And now we're seeing her switch stance a little bit, really get into that flow with the last 20 seconds of this first round.
She's feeling that confidence. I haven't seen too many kicks from Kenia Enriquez. We'll be curious to see if she...
Does she need them?
No, but I mean, why not test yourself, right? This is MMA.
Exactly, and we actually haven't even seen that many kicks from Haley. We're definitely going to have to see more, because going tit for tat with Kenia is going to be a struggle for sure.
Time.
Well,
And into the second round we go. Haley Valentine, I cannot wait to see if she can
Okay, ¿estás listas?
really force some of her
Round two, you
strategy
ready?
against Kenia.
Fight.
here we go, second round. Enriquez in red, Valentine in white and blue.
And Valentine coming out a little bit more aggressive this time, even after tasting some of the power of Kenia.
Now, one thing that has to be talked about is the cardio. The cardio in a mixed martial artist and in a boxer could be a lot different, right? Because you're using more of the upper body in boxing. And in MMA, you get to use everything from the wrestling, from the striking. How much of a change could that be? Did Kenia train for that? How much work did she put? Those are all questions that we'll be able to answer it in this fight.
And a nice kick from Haley Valentine. We're definitely going to have to see more of those.
Valentine still trying to find the opportunity to work her way in to take her opponent down. Enriquez, though, no stranger to MMA, even though she's making her debut. She's cornered the likes of Azul Lara, who's competed here in Combate Global, a very well-known female fighter in the MMA world.
Definitely the origin story of Kenia's MMA journey, being connected with such a powerful Colombiana like Alejandra Lara.
She cornered Lara. And that just goes to show you that she's been out here. She knows what it's like. So she is no stranger, training at La Lobo Gym, where Alexa Grasso trained, former champion of the world. Worked some of her jiu-jitsu down at Delta.
And we'll see if Haley's able to do anything with this underhook here. Her coach calling out for some better head position. Now she has the head and arm at one point, but again, back at distance with 3 minutes left to go in the second round.
Well, I must say that Kenia Enriquez has definitely impressed me. She feels very confident. The psychology there in the hala used very properly. Remember, she's used to fighting in a ring. Now this is a hala, completely different dynamic.
And we talk about Haley having more MMA experience. She started her pro career in 2022, but you also have to remember that Kenia is still a combat sports athlete, starting her pro boxing career in 2014. So that's a lot more time. Even if it's not inside a cage, it's inside the fight atmosphere. And so how they handle this moment in the second round is definitely going to show the mentality of both of these athletes. So tough, so strong, but who will be able to impose their strategy more?
1-2. Great action. You got that boxer versus MMA. Little homage, right, to how the whole sport started. Co-founder, El Jefe, Mr. Campbell McLaren, who was one of the co-founders of the UFC. When back in the day, you had different styles competing against each other. Shout out to the matchmakers as well here, Mike Waframowitz and Tony Padilla, who find these great talent, man, all over the world. That's one thing about Combate Global. We take a look at some of these fighters all over the world. They compete, find them in different parts that you probably thought they didn't compete or train MMA. Trying to use the feint again. Nothing, no kicks, no takedown attempts from Kenia Enriquez. She's banking really much on that boxing, that stellar boxing that has won her multiple championships.
Yeah, she looks like she's really starting to have some fun out there. Maybe looking for that one power shot that could turn the lights out.
Will it favor Valentine to take this fight a little longer, make it go the distance, Alex?
I think going the distance definitely makes it tougher if she's in a position that Kenia's not used to, like these moments where they're up against a cage. Can she wear her down in these moments and really work in some of that Muay Thai, some knees, some elbows while she has her press up on the cage? And this is a great position with this high underhooks that she's forcing Kenia to kind of switch positions on.
He just switches levels here, try to go for the legs for Valentine. Great to land in a knee there too, it's an opening. Good way of Enriquez circling around, though.
Haley is the shorter fighter. It would be awesome to see her just put the hips in front of Kenia, get a head and arm throw to the ground, get her to quick side control, and then another quick submission, but it's easier said than done.
Enriquez is just, it's very strong.
She's so strong. You can really tell in these exchanges.
She's still, this is pretty much as close as she's gotten to an attempt to a takedown. But good way of positioning her hips in Enriquez, not allowing that takedown to conclude.
¿Están listos? Dale.
Even Chris McNulty using that Spanish for Dale. He got into the Miami vibe.
I like it.
It seems like you come in here, you just become Miami. You get that 305 culture from the Cafe Cubana to saying Dale. Kickoff this last and final round, 5 minutes. Kenia Enriquez just looking in for that body shot, that 1-2 combination that will put an end to this fight. How sweet it would be that she will go home with a W in stellar fashion. Way of switching stance, and that could throw you off, Alex, when a person just switches stance right on the spot.
Yeah, she's definitely looking for her moment to close that distance.
There's that takedown. Can she finish it? And there it is.
Straight to the back. This could be a problem.
This could be it, Alex.
This could be a problem.
This was what Valentine was waiting for. Let's see, though, how much of a takedown defense work Kenia Enriquez is putting. You could see her eyes there. She's like, well, okay.
And Kenia Enriquez, she said that she was aware of the physique. She said that she was aware of the jiu-jitsu brown belt that Haley Valentine has, but how much back defense has she been doing in this training camp? She hasn't needed it up until this point.
She has one leg in there, Alex. What can she do in this position here? She got 2 legs in there.
You got to imagine with 3.5 minutes to work.
Oh, plenty of time.
This could be a submission in the making.
In the MMA world, 3 minutes is like watching an entire football game. You got a lot of time to work with here.
Wow, you couldn't have scripted this fight any better because Kenia was working it on the feet. And in the 3rd round,
Alex,
a double leg takedown to the back.
What's available for here for Valentine? Rear naked chokes. What else we got?
She definitely looking to control as long as she can and really wear down Kenia. She's right now looking to basically get into some type of rear naked choke position, but Kenia's doing an all right job holding on. I mean, she does train with Alejandro Lara, so there's probably a lot of
And that could be very, very annoying for that person as she puts in that left arm into the face. She's just looking for that opportunity to sink it in right through her neck to capture it. But good way of hooking those legs in, Alex.
Yeah, but to secure it even more, she could go body triangle, really start to make it hard for her to breathe by just contracting her legs and the stomach. But until she gets that, she also might be looking to trap an arm.
Valentine looks very, very confident here. And you could tell at Enriquez, as she looks at her corners, like, okay, this is the new territory for me. She's looking. She's trying to listen, Enriquez, looking at her corner, trying to head for the hand signals. One thing, though, about Enriquez is she's composed. She's been in the position that this is new to her as a pro MMA fighter, having so many years competing in boxing. This is new territory from her. How will she overcome this? And there it is.
Now
She may have something. Chin, though, way down. Good way of Enriquez protecting herself. She's just waiting for the right moment, Alex, to sink in that rear naked.
But she's got to do it sometime soon with just 1 minute and 20 seconds left.
And for Haley, she needs to do this because right now she's down the cards.
I think she's going to have to get creative with what she's trying to do here. If she doesn't have enough time for the choke, she can go for an arm bar. But basically, she is at advantage having Kenia on the ground right now.
But Valentine needs to do something here with less than 1 minute to go as she wants to get this victory. I will not leave it to the judges. And maybe she gets... nothing there. Good way of defending for Enriquez. Doing enough what she has to. And then she gets the guard, Alex. Now this is interesting. What can she do from here? Let's see if those punches come in for Enriquez. Maybe some elbows, but good way of Valentine putting in that knee maybe for the shield to get off Alex.
Watch the fingers.
An amazing work from Kenya.
Yeah.
For not getting submitted with her on her back for that long.
What's impressive is that she kept calm, cool, and collected. Didn't freak out. Maybe for the arm triangle, but maybe a little too late.
Stop. Good fight.
Little
Would have
too
been
late.
crazy if we had saw a triangle armbar from there.
Well, I must say, very impressive stuff from Kenia Enriquez. As we take a look at some of the action that took place, Alex, of course the story here, right in that first and second, was the boxing from Kenia Enriquez. But in that last round, here, she survived the ground.
Yes, a great double leg takedown attempt and straight to the back. And then we saw even a moment of a potential triangle choke, but there was just not enough time on the clock.
After 3 rounds of much more action, this is the final decision. Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, esta es la decisión oficial. And the winner, by way of unanimous decision, la ganadora por decisión unánime. De sangre mexicana, Kenia Enriquez.
She is now a savage in the ring and a savage in la jaula.